Hello, you romantic fans. This is Alberto, aka Destroyer 48. Saying hi to you romantic fans out there. Uh, this is for you all, ladies and gentlemen, especially the ladies. Romance. There's guys that like romance, but I know a lot of you ladies enjoy romance. So today, I'm gonna go through the movie. She's All That, uh, starring Rachel A. Cook. Isn't she pretty? And Freddie Prince Jr. This is this is Miramax production. I didn't even know Miramax did this. Um, so let's get through it. Then we're gonna go through it and let's get started. So here you go. It's my movie review of She's All That. Um, you're gonna start the beginning. You're gonna have Lainey Boggs, which is played by Rachel A. Cook, and she goes to school and she's this some kind of outcast student. It starts off that she's at home and she's bringing juice to her little brother Simon. Simon doesn't want to get up. It's early in the morning. She lives with her dad, and we're gonna find out later. Bring Obama say right now her mom has passed away, so just her dad and Simon, her little brother. She goes to high school, and she's an outcast, and we'll get into her in a little bit. But we're also gonna get into with Zach, played by Freddie Prince Jr. Zach is like the most popular guy in school. He's a big shot. They show him driving up to school. He has a nice car. He drives. He goes inside, and they have a picture of him, like he's some kind of god or something. And he's talking with his friends and all that. Late, and then we go back to Lainey. Lainey is heavily into art, and she likes to express herself through art, but she's very sad. I think she's sad because she's an outcast and she had lost her mom, and they show her in art class. She's showing a art painting, and she says it reminds her of Megadishu. That's like some African city or something where people were suffering, where she can relate. And so she has a painting in class. There's all the other art students, and her art teacher's like, why don't you try to represent more of you, not just depressing stuff. And then this girl Misty comes up to Lainey and says, you're better off killing yourself and stuff like that. I mean, bullying her. Lainey just stares at her painting and does not really pay attention to Misty. Then we're gonna go back to Zach. He's gonna find out that and because he has a girlfriend named Taylor. Zach is gonna find out that Taylor has found somebody else. Now Taylor's with her friends and everything, and Zach's telling her, "Hey, I want to know what happened. That you don't want to be with me anymore." And Taylor's like, "Okay, I'll tell you." They sit down on a bench outside the school, and they they give like 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 a dream sequence, not a dream sequence, but they go back to the scene where she's in spring break. Everybody has come back from spring break, but she says in spring break is like an, I don't know, like an MTV festival going on. There's a pool. There's a lot of people dancing in bikinis. Everybody's half naked. It's a beach, like a beach thing for MTV. And Taylor says that they announced her to get the spotlight or whatever at this beach thing in the daytime. There's a pool area and everything. She's near the pool and she's dancing, and then she almost falls, and this guy prevents her from falling, and she runs into Brock. So that's how she runs into this guy Brock, and Brock is gonna end up being a reality TV star, something like the Real World, and that's where she hooks up with Brock, and she is with Zach at this time, but she's over there partying. Now she found somebody else. They show her making out in the bed with Brock, and then they show her getting tattoos with Brock. They're committed. I don't know if they put each other's names or whatever on their tattoos. I know Brock has one on her arm. I think she has one in the back or something like that. So Taylor's like that. Like she tells Zach, "I'm with Brock, and I'm dumping you," kind of deal. And that's it. So Zach, of course, he is affected, and he feels bad. He tells his friend Dean this what happened, that Taylor Vaughn has broken up with him, and like they do say here that Taylor is like Zach in popularity, but the same thing. He's the most popular guy in high school, and she's the most popular girl in high school. Like she's attractive and all that, and so is Zach. But Zach is talking with Dean and says, you know, you start want to make a bet, because Zach is kind of like, forget Taylor. I can turn any of these other girls, and everybody's outside. It's like recess or whatever. After he goes, I can turn any one of these high school girls into prom queen. And like, let's make a bet. Let's make a bet. And then um, it is said that in the bet they want Dean to choose. So they look at all these girls. There's word girls outside in the recess. I think it is. Like I said, there's a girl blowing bubbles. And they're like, how about bubbles over there? Like, no. And then there's a girl picking on her butt, and and they're trying to pick a girl for him. That she has to be somewhat of a loser, because he said he could turn. Remember, he could turn any girl into prom queen. And then they're looking at all these girls that are losers, but then they see Lainey Boggs. It's Lainey, and she's dressed in overalls and boots, and she has paint all over herself. She has carrying a lot of stuff. She looks like a dork. She has her glasses. She falls down, and then Dean sees her and says, "I think we have a winner." And then Zach said, "Oh no, not Lainey Boggs. I don't want her and all that." But they come and say, "Hey, like a bet's a bet." So they have already chosen their girl that they made for the bet that Zach could turn into a prom queen, and they have picked Lainey Boggs. Zach tries to go talk to Lainey, and Lainey, like the first time, ignores him, and then um, he tries to talk to her again. She finally listens and says, "You know what? If you need tutoring, I'm not the one for you, whatever." And then Zach is like, Laney, like I have the highest GTPA, or I'm the tenth smartest in the school or something like that. And I believe he's talking to her here in the cafeteria. And then Jesse Jackson there. Jesse Jackson is as a kid is kind of like my dork. He's not to be mean, but it's true. Uh, he's friends with Laney Boggs. They're like kind of like best friends. And and Laney says something. If you're sure is like into talking to me, whatever, you can, you know, you can go see me at some play she does or whatever. Not with a school, but somewhere else. And then Jesse Jackson says you could take my ticket. So later on, Laney's gonna be at this place. It's like a performing arts place in the city. Um, Zach goes, and Laney's doing this piece with these other people. It's a midget, another man in his underwear. So, and they're doing a thing with a blanket. They're doing some artsy thing. You gotta be out there. You gotta be really open minded to see this. And they're dancing under a blanket, and a little midget comes out saying, "You want to be like Mike?" They're all dressed weird. Lainey's dressed in like leotard, and everything has powder in her face. And they finish their kind of artsy in my opinion, weird um, performance. I'm glad I found the word performance. And then the guy, I believe it's the guy in the underwear. He says, "Lainey has informed me that there's Zach here," and then he goes, "Zach, can you come up here?" And then Zach's sitting in the audience. Zach is there. He's sitting in the audience, and they want him to perform, and he's like, and then Lainey goes up to him and says, "You don't have to do it if you don't want to." And then Zach goes on stage. He does not have a clue what to do, but until he gets a hacky sack, and then they put on some music for him, some mysterious music. He starts playing with a hack. He puts his hacky sack in his hand, puts it up and down, throwing it up and down. Then he starts hitting the hacky sack like you play hacky sack with your knees and foot, whatever. He's like, you can't let it fall. He does it for a while and keeps hitting it, but after a while it falls, and then he tells the audience, sooner or later, you can't let it fall. And the whole performance was saying, don't let it fall, let it fall. And he goes, sooner or later, it doesn't have to fall. I actually understood that, but he did the best he could in short notice. Good thing he had his hacky sack so he could do something. So I don't know what he's going to do. Probably do poetry or something. Excuse me. He leaves with Lainey. They're going outside, and they start walking, and he's like, that's amazing. I can't believe I did that. And then they get to a corner, and Zach's looking at Lainey, and Lainey's just looking at straight ahead. She's like, what? And he says, you know what? Your eyes are very, you ever use context? And she's like, no, I don't know. And he's like, because your eyes are beautiful. And she's like, wow, you really came out with the big guns on there. And she gets offended, and then she walks away. And then she goes, you can catch a ride with so and so guy. He's like, who? And he's like, the underwear guy that came out in the performance. So that's going on. Um, After that, I don't want to forget this scene. There's a scene that's pretty awesome. Um, they're eating in the cafeteria, and Lainey's there. I believe she's sitting at a table in the cafeteria, and her brother Simon's acting like an oddball. It's the cafeteria in the school, and he's going around in roller skates, and he has some like pepper thing that goes like this is a big stick like that. It gets really big. He uses it as a club to hit somebody. He goes to Jesse Jackson, Laney's friend, and says, "You want any?" He's like, "Yeah." He just puts pepper in his food and he takes it off. And says he says like if Laney wants something, he's like, "No, I don't want any." And he's still in his roller skates going around. And then two bullies come in and they start bullying Simon, Laney's brother. One of the bullies has like a dude rag. Not that it matters, but he gets Simon by the head and gets a dirty magazine and says, "Hey, is your mom in here?" and all this stuff. And I think Simon's trying to get away, and they're just bullying him. And and then Zach comes in and gets, you know, he gets mad, and he he gets after the bullies and stuff, and he takes care of Simon, and they release Simon, and Zach punishes him and tell him never to be bothering Simon again. The bullies are afraid of Zach, and then Zach leaves, and then Simon's like, "Come on, y'all want to mix it up with me, whatever." And he's fairly safe because Zach already. They're not gonna touch him because they're afraid of Zach, and Zach said, "You better not do anything to him." And Lainey has seen all this. She has seen it, and then it goes to we're gonna move forward where Lainey's at work and she's still thinking, and she's thinking about because this just happened. So she at work, she's daydreaming, like she's daydreaming of Zach protecting her little brother. So I think this is a part where everything's gonna change, and she's gonna I think she may have start having feelings for Zach. So I mean, that's really romantic. I mean, you have this guy, a handsome guy, protecting your little brother, and you know she loves her brother, so she's gonna that's a good way to start having a good way to for her to start having feelings for Zach because Zach did that. So now I think she's starting to like she's in that mode. She's starting to like Zach, but she's not. You can tell the way she is. She's kind of secret. She's not gonna tell anybody. She's gonna keep it to herself right now. Um, then we're gonna have Zach goes to her house and he meets Lainey's dad and he sees Simon there again and Simon's like, hey, do you want to play some Sega video games? and Lainey's there too. She's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm here to take you to the beach. And she's like, oh, I don't want to go. I have things to do, whatever. And he's like, okay, fine. You know what? Maybe I'll stick around with your dad. He could teach me some pool stuff because Laney's dad works with pools. That's his job. He cleans pools and does maintenance on 'em. Or he goes, oh, I can also play with Simon. Simon, he plays some Sega with Simon. And she's like, I'll get my stuff. So Laney gets her stuff to go with Zach to the beach, and then she turns out that all of Zach's friends are coming. They come, uh, even Taylor's friends. Taylor's not there. Taylor's friends go. I just thought about that. Taylor didn't go. I think she's spending time with Brock, her new boyfriend. So they're anyways. All of Zach's friends are there, and Lainey comes out in her bikini, and then Dean sees her. Zach's friend Dean sees her like, hey, she's not half bad. She looks pretty good in a bikini, and then he's saying, um, he calls her Bobo disrespectfully, referring to her breasts. That he liked her breasts, so that's already signs that he's a jerk. So Lane's in her bikini. Taylor's friends are there. No, all his ex friends are there, and then it looks like Lainey wants to lay on the sand and see her little art books or whatever. And then one of his ex friends is like, "Hey, you want to play volleyball?" And at first she's like, "No," but he convinced her to play. She's like, "Okay, I'm in." And then most of Zach's friends play volleyball. Dean's playing, Zach's playing, Laney's playing. A lot of the friends are playing, and they hit the ball to Laney. And she kind of like a girl, she can't hit it, whatever. And then they're just playing, they're having a good time. Then it's time to leave. They leave, and they're getting into their vehicles after their little beach party, and they're all talking about going to a house party, one of Zach's friends' house party. And at first he's like no, and then they said yeah, and then Zach says okay, you're gonna be ready for the party, and then the lady says no, I got work to do. So Zach's like okay, you don't want to go to the party, it's fine. So they take off, and then you're gonna see like I think it's the next day, and it's the next day I believe, and then Zach shows up to Laney's house, and Zach has brought all these kids, and then excuse me, um yeah, he brings all these kids, Lainey's like, "Who's this?" And it's funny because Lainey's dad is there and he's sitting down watching TV, watching like Jeopardy or something, some game show, and he's not even paying attention because he's totally focused. Simon's there. Um, Zach has a seat. He had said those kids are all JV. They're a JV soccer team, and they start cleaning the house. And then he's like, "What's this?" And then Zach says, "Well, you say you need help cleaning the house, so I brought them so you can go to the party." And then she's like, "I have nothing to wear." And then Zach actually has a dress for her to wear. And then she like a makeup, whatever. And then Mackenzie comes in. Well, they short for Mac. That is Zach's sister. And so I can say a little bit about Mac. Mac is like she's probably like a freshman, and she goes to an all girls school. And she says, "I'm gonna help you without." She has all her makeup kit and everything. Um, so she's gonna take Lainey upstairs and work on her makeup and get her ready for the party. Um, and then Simon's like making some precaution. He's bringing like a glass. He's looking at his at all what they have. Like, thing is, Dad even has a liquor. He's gonna put a whiskey and everything. And Zach, he had said he's gonna make Zach a margarita. And hopefully I don't forget that part. But Mac takes Lainey upstairs to Lainey's room, and Mac is saying, "Hey, Lainey, you're in a room. Lainey, your hair doesn't match your face." And Lainey has really long hair, and he says, and she's like, "What?" And then Lainey's like, "What do you suggest I do?" Max says, "Well, you really have to trust me." And so so Mac is gonna make up her face and everything, and I'll tell you what happens next. Well, and finally, Lainey's dad is after a while is like, "Who are all these people?" After a while, after all the kids been there cleaning up the JV soccer team, Zach got them to clean the house because Lainey said she couldn't go to clean the house. Then it turns out later on that they're still there, and then Simon says, here's your margarita drink." And margaritas are supposed to be like white with salt around. This is all brown and dark. And he's like, "Zach, drink up." And Zach is there. He puts a glass on the table while he's sitting on the sofa in the living room. Um, then then Mac, I think he introduces the new Lady Boggs or something like this. Then Lainey comes down. She looks beautiful. Her haircut, shoulder length looks a lot better. She's all makeup up. She has a she has a figure, so she has a dress. She looks really nice. And then they play the theme music, "Kiss Me," which, oh my gosh, it's a really beautiful song. They have her look they have her looking at you, all dolled up, very beautiful. And then she starts walking down the stairs, making her entrance, they would say. Very romantic, very beautiful. And she walks down, and then when she gets down the stairs, she falls because she's not that used to to walking in high heels. Yeah, she's high heeled up too. And I think she fell too because she could no longer hold on to the railing. So when she got down, she fell. And she fell out in Zach's arms, and oh, how romantic! Very nice. You gotta see. Um, so they go to the party. Zach takes her to the party. Oh, by the way, before they go to the party, she's leaving, and then Simon is going like, oh, like pretending like kissing, like, oh, you're gonna do that with him or what? And then Zach catches him doing that. And he's like just gonna look, and then Zach and Lainey leave, and then Simon's like whatever. Anyway, so Zach takes Lainey to the party, And um, there's a huge party going on. Taylor is there now. She's with Brock. They're upstairs doing on what. Lainey goes to the restroom and she finds Misty, the girl from the class that told her to kill herself. And Misty is all. So it's just Lainey and Misty in the restroom. Misty's all messed up. She's totally drunk. She's puking in the restroom, in the toilet. And then Lainey says, "Are you okay?" She tries to be, "I'll give you a tissue, whatever." Then Misty stops her and tells her some bad things again about stuff about killing herself or something bad like that. And Misty drops again to the floor, and then all this makeup color things come out of her purse. Um, Zach ends up talking to Dean, and Dean's like, "Hey, she's pretty. Lainey's pretty hot." And then Zach says, "No, it's just a bet." Um, Taylor's new boyfriend Brock is dancing horrible and is trying to be cool, but he's acting ridiculous, doing a weird dance. Everybody's freaked out. He is making Taylor look bad. Hmm. Lainey's also gonna come out. She gets out of the restroom, and then Misty finally gets out, and Misty is all colored up like a clown, and it's because Lainey had painted her face like a clown because he's all drunk, and Misty's coming out, and everybody's laughing at her, and she's dressed like a clown, and yeah, because that's what Lainey did to her. Lainey had closed the door and making her up with all that color, whatever she had makeup. I mean, poor Misty, she's dressed like a clown. I mean, she's makeup like a clown. Everybody's laughing at her. She's and the last thing to see is that she's looking herself in the mirror all clowned up. Then Lainey walking down, and Taylor. Remember, Taylor's down there because she's seen her boyfriend Brock, her new boyfriend Brock, making an idiot of himself, dancing horrible in front of everybody in the living room. And Taylor sees that that Lainey's with Zach, so it gets her jealous. Her friends had said that if they see Taylor seeing Lainey with Zach, she's gonna get mad. And sure enough, she did. Taylor stops Lainey when Lainey's coming down the stairs from the upstairs restroom, and once Lainey did that job on Misty, and Taylor's like, who invited you? And she's like, why are you here? And Lainey says, I was invited. And then Taylor gets her drink, and she splashes it on Lainey's new dress that Zach had given her. And then Lainey's like, thank you. And then Taylor's like, what do you mean thank you? And Lainey's like, thank you for showing me I shouldn't be here. You have to put up with people like you. And then, Taylor tells her off, tells her something. And then Lainey's like, she's humiliated because Taylor's telling her off. So Lainey goes outside. She runs outside. Zach goes after her, and then Lainey falls outside. Zach goes to confront her, touches her like, are you okay? And Lainey's like, don't touch me. And then Zach gives her a little speech and says like, you know, when you start talking to people or start socializing, you have to let the good in with the bad. And then, he was saying, at the beach you had fun. You were socializing there, you had fun. And Laney's like, take me home. So Zach Zach takes her home, and the cute part too. He puts his jacket around her, and takes her in the vehicle, takes her home. The next day, it looks like it. They already tell Laney, and people are telling, "Hey, Laney, good job," whatever. She's like, "What are they talking about?" And it appears that they already have nominated her to run for prom queen, and of course she's gonna run against Taylor, because Taylor's the most popular girl in school, of course. And Jesse Jackson's there, her friend, and it's like, wow. And they're gonna start preparing for prom. They're gonna start putting up posters. I mean, that's pretty quick, don't you think? But that's what happens. The, and what happens is they nominated Laney to run because she told everybody, people were there, a lot of people were there, and they witnessed at the party that Laney had, she had said, at least she told things back to Taylor after Taylor started telling more things and putting her down afterwards. So they liked that she stood up for her. That's why they nominated her to run for prom queen. And so they're like, I mean, she goes with the flow, man. She's gonna run, and she's gonna Jesse her, and one of Taylor's friends even abandons Taylor to go help her because she thinks Taylor's a snob, which he is. So they're gonna start. So Lainey and her friends are gonna, and her supporters, they are going to put up posters. They're gonna put up banners, with her information or her stuff. Like she's gonna run for prom, Lainey for prom queen. Um, and Taylor's gonna find out. Of course, she's gonna be like, "Whoa, this girl, that she's gonna run against me." They even put a scene where where Lainey's friends are walking down the hall, and Taylor's are walking down the hall. They meet each other, and then Taylor meets Lainey and says, "No, it's just for fun or whatever like that." And then they take a picture together. They're both gonna run, and then Taylor shoves Lainey aside. um, there is a part where Zach goes to Lainey's house, and Lainey's painting or doing something. She's looking at a picture of her mom. Her mom has passed away. Zach goes down. She's in the basement doing this. Zach goes down, and then Lainey's like, nobody's allowed back here. Zach talks to her. They talk about stuff. She discusses. Zach asks her, "Hey, and your mom, what happened to her? What did she die of?" And she's like, "Cancer." Mm. And then Lainey, she's like, um, she finds out. I don't know. Well, I understood something. She looked at the clipboard and the principal, and noticed that Zach has not put in like an application to go to a college. He's having a hard time with college. It's like a side thing that's going on, and his dad wants him to go to a certain college, and he cannot decide. I think this college is called Dartmouth or something like that. And then Lainey said that like she did want to talk to him about prom, but he said no. I gotta do something. I gotta sprinkler system. I don't know what. I have to go. This. I gotta go. So that's showing me that for some reason, I'm not even sure about this. Zach is hesitant about asking Lainey to go to the prom. So I guess he's he's confused about that. Maybe still in the back of his mind he wants to go to Taylor. Now what's gonna be happening is that there is some scenes where Dean, Zach's friend, is trying to hook up with with Lainey, There's even a part where Dean goes to to Lainey's work. She works at some kind of little restaurant, and he's saying, "Hey, we can go to the prom," and he asks her to the prom, and I think we'll have pretty fun. And Lainey does not look interested. Um, and so like Dean leaves the restaurant saying we can have pretty fun, whatever. And then there's a part where what ends up happening is that Brock ends up breaking up with Taylor. That's one thing that happens. So Taylor's gonna want to go with Zach, and it's funny because when breaks up with Taylor, is like you thought I was gonna stay with you and not go to Road Rules, and it's like, oh, that's so sweet. So what he's trying to say is he's gonna go to some show called Road Rules and forget about her, and then you're gonna have a scene where Zach he's gonna see um, Lainey and Dean. They're like somewhere in the school. Seems like the gym or I don't know, auditorium or cafeteria, I don't know what. And they're putting up posters for Lainey's prom queen campaign. I say it like that. Putting up the posters and the not flyers, the the posters and the banners on all that. They're working on that. They have a list. So it's Lainey and Dean. They're looking at what they're gonna do next. And Zach is gonna get mad and confront them. And he's like, "What's this, Dean?" Because he thinks Dean's moving on his girl, kind of in a way, or even in the bed, it affects the bed. He's not trying supposed to be danger. I don't think that was not part of the bed, I believe. And then yeah, Zach's like, "What's this?" And then Dean spills the beans and tells Lainey, "Hey, it's so stupid, Lainey. He made a bet that he can make anybody prom queen, and it's like kind of like you." And then Lainey's like, looks at Zach and says, "Am I a bet? Am I an effing bet?" And Zach's like, what I say? Lainey takes off, and then Dean takes off after her. So it's like, wow. So now the day has come, the day of the prom. Um, and you got um, Taylor. Now that Brock has broke up with Taylor, Taylor is gonna want to go with Zach to the prom. And somewhere she had told him, you know, we're gonna go to the prom together, and I'll see you there, right? So Taylor wants Zach to take her to the prom now that Brock has broke up with her. 'Cause I guess she figured Brock was gonna go with her, but Brock broke up with her. And so the other proms here, and you got Lainey. She is painting. She's painting her, downstairs or whatever, the basement. Her dad comes down, gives her a little speech saying, "Hey, sometimes y'all do too much. You work, you help me out on it. You and your brother." Like, Lady's like, yeah, we're a team." And then he's like, "Don't forget, you need to have some fun," or something like that. And she goes, "There's a young man waiting for you upstairs." And she goes upstairs, and it's Dean. Um, and he's like, "Yeah, I think we could have a good time and all that." So it turns out Lainey's now gonna go to the prom. So it's already you know she's gonna go to the prom with Dean, Zach's friend. And then we go to Zach's house, and it turns out He's dressed up. He did try calling Laney, but Simon would answer the phone and says, "Don't be calling you here, you a hole." So Zach knows he can't talk to Laney now. No, there's like no chance he's gonna be able to go to prom with her. So Zach is what he does. He ends up taking his sister Mackenzie, short for Mac. They call her Mac. It's funny. So he's taking little sister to prom, and Mac is dressed up in her dress, and she has a basket of eggs. I'm like, what for prom? I mean, what's that? I don't know. I guess it's some style thing. So now we're at prom, and everybody's gonna be there. You see, you see, Laney is dancing with Dean, and then Zach comes in with his little sister to prom, their senior prom, and then you see Taylor that she's home. She has been stood up by Zach, but not really because Zach said he never was gonna take her. After why? Because she had gone for Brock once again, and then she figured Brock would take her, but Brock broke up with her, so Zach is still sour with that, so he was not gonna take her. So Taylor's left in herself up waiting for Zach to come, and she gets stood up, but Taylor's gonna end up going to the dance too. She's still gonna go on her own, obviously. So we got them all there, and once again you got Laney is dancing with Dean. Zach arrived with Mac Mackenzie. Zach's there. Taylor gets there, and she's trying to like dance with Zach and stuff. And then Mac goes upstairs and she finds Jesse Jackson alone, Elaine's friend, and Mac introduces her to Jesse, and they're like, Jesse's like, I can't dance. He's just there eating upstairs, and it looks like they're gonna hang out. Um, Zach does not want to dance with Taylor. He takes off. There's a really good dance sequence. They dance really well together. I mean, you have to see it. They play a really cool song, and they're doing, that's a really good. They had said they had practiced it, so they have a nice dance week sequence you have to see. I mean, I liked it, and I hope you like it. I really, really liked it. It's really cool. Then they're going to. Oh, what happens is now you're gonna see Dean. He's gonna be in the restroom, and then there's guys in the restroom, and they're all talking. And he has the keys, and like, I'm gonna make history. This is gonna be history. And he's talking. He's blabbing that he's gonna wanna sleep, or he's gonna wanna have sex with Laney. So he has a hotel key and everything ready. And when Dean leaves the restroom, and the guys look like the kind of the weird thing is guys will usually be like, yeah, do it, but no, they look like they're not into it, and they're like, no, she's never gonna go with you, and then they're actually defending Lainey. I guess they actually like her. I'm like, wow. So Dean leaves the restroom, and then Jesse Jackson, Lainey's friend, I have to always say it, I'm sorry. Jesse Jackson, Lainey's friend, he's in the bathroom stall, and he has not seen he they have not seen him, and he heard all about it, that he heard all about what Dean was saying, that he has a hotel room and everything set to sleep to have sex with Laney. So when he gets out of the stall, he runs to go tell Mac what's going on. Now the dancing has stopped. Now they're gonna announce the king and queen. Um, so they're gonna announce who won, either Laney or Taylor, and then that's one of the teacher's probably announcing on the microphone, says that the new queen is Taylor Vaughn. So Taylor has won; she is the queen. And then Lainey is clapping down there, and and she's talking with Dean, and then Dean's all sucking up there and says, "You should have won, Dean." She's like, "No, the right girl won. Let's go." So that she's gonna leave with Dean, and they call up Zach. Zach goes up there too. He's king. So Taylor Vaughn is queen, and Zach is a king. Zach starts saying his speech, his prom king speech, and Jesse Jackson has told Mac like, hey, what was going on, that Dean just wants to sleep with has a hotel key and wants to sleep with Laney, and they first Jesse Jesse runs down, and he's gonna run down and tell Zach what's going on. Mackenzie runs after him. They're both there. They're and Zach is up there in the podium talking, saying his speech, and they're like whispering. Mackenzie and Mac and Jesse are whispering, "Hey, Zach, Zach," and they're whispering first, and then they go Zach, and then finally when they yell, um, Zach sees them, and he goes down to him. He leaves, and then Taylor gets the microphone, and Zach is like, "What's up?" And they tell him that, hey, Dean wants to sleep with her, and then Zach goes running to go try to stop him and to go find them, to find Dean and Laney. And then Taylor, she's like, has a microphone saying, she's like, "Hey, for y'all that voted me, awesome, thank you. But y'all that didn't vote for me, what were you thinking?" And then the teacher unplugs the microphone because he is afraid of what Taylor is saying is gonna be obscene, bad stuff. So he unplugs the microphone. She's there talking and the mic's not working. It's pretty funny. They can't hear her now. Good. Um, then you're gonna see Zach in his vehicle. He's driving through the streets, through the town, and he's calling hotels, seeing if where Dean and Laney are, seeing they're registered there. And that's what you see. Then we're gonna go back to Laney's house, and you see Laney come to the door. Laney's dad's there, and then she finds out that, and Laney's dad's like, there's another young man here, and this time it's not Dean, it's Zach. And so Zach, and Laney's dad is there. And Laney's dad's like, "You know what, you two can talk out on the patio." And he leaves. And then Laney has shown Zach that, hey, sexual assault is a big thing now. That's why I carry this. She has a little horn. There's a little horn, but she says it could be heard for 2 miles, and that Dean did put the moves on her, try to have sex with her, and she blew in her ear, and she's like, "I hope it didn't cause permanent damage." They go outside of the patio, and they start dancing. And before her dad left, he had put some lights. So they look like Christmas lights, but they're along the fence and everything. They look very romantic. They start dancing. They're dancing like they're pretending to hear music. And it's very romantic. And then she says her line, I feel like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. except for all the hooker, except for that hooker thing, because Julia Roberts played hooker in Pretty Woman. And then they're dancing, and then Zach says, "Hey," he started saying the thing, "Be silent, be still, be silent." That was part of her act. Remember when she was at the art performance? That was a line, "Be silent, be still," like this, "Be silent, be still." And then Zach jokingly says, "Be silent, be still, be silent, be still." And then Lady's like, you know, shut up, and she kisses him. She's kissing him, and it's really romantic. They look really good. She has a beautiful dress on. He has his tux on. Looks really nice. I mean, really nice. And then after that, Lainey's like, she asks Zach, "Hey, what was the by the way, Zach, what was the bet about?" Then they show them in graduation. They're ready to graduate. Taylor's by herself. There, they show the bleachers where they're at, or sit stands, or the chairs are sitting at. Taylor's all by herself in the back, and they're gonna graduate. They call Dean. They're calling him, and the girl besides like, "Hey, go graduate." And he's like, he can't hear. He's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, she had to budge him like two or three times where she finally, he's like, "Hey, okay." And she kept telling him, but he couldn't hear because remember, Lainey put the horn to his ear because she tried to sexually assault her. He goes, and then Zach's there. They go, "Now Zach, come up, Zach, to go graduate, get his diploma." And he gets up. He looks like he's totally naked. But he has his cap. Only has a cap and a thing around him. And then he has a soccer ball in his private area. And he goes up, and then he throws the ball to Laney, and then they put the Kiss Me song on at that time. And oh my gosh, it makes me like want to cry. It's really nice. And then Laney catches the ball, and she's laughing. She's all happy, and Zach goes to get his diploma naked, and Laney has the soccer ball, happy, laughing that he's gonna go get his diploma nude. And that is the end of She's All That. And wow, the song makes, they play it twice, where she comes down the steps, very beautiful, at the house to make her entrance, and they play it when Zach is naked and throws her the soccer ball, because that was the bet. That was all the bet, that he was gonna go get naked. And she's happy in with the soccer ball, and they play the "Kiss Me" song. That is awesome, ladies and gentlemen. It's an awesome movie. I like it. I don't find many flaws, probably none. Um, I'm sorry if I spoiled the movie for you guys, but I could not decide whether or not to say the ending or not. The reason I said the ending, and I was like, I have to wait to say the review to see whether I'm gonna say it or not. The reason I went to do the spoiler alert and say the ending is because I had to go through the whole movie. I like it so much, and the reason I did it is because either way it's win or lose. Some people are always gonna get mad at my reviews, but this one, the reason I did it is because I had to side with the girls that, or females that, and or guys that didn't see it, because they're gonna be like, "What?" If you thought it was, let's say you really liked my review and you liked the movie, other review is like, "Why did he stop? I have to wait to go buy the movie, or I have to wait to see it on Wikipedia." I did not want to put them to that, but I apologize to you guys if you haven't seen the movie and you're like, "Oh man, I wanted to wait to go get the movie," whatever. The reason I do these reviews sometimes is because maybe you don't have time to go see the movie, or you have to go buy it or whatever. And some of us are broke. Not everybody's rich and has money. That's the reason I did it. So if I spoiled the movie for you, I'm very sorry. I don't do it all the time. I just did what I felt, what I was right, and what my heart told me about it. I do really think about you guys, but and to do the right thing, but it's gonna be win or lose. I can't make everybody happy. You know, and if I if I spoiled for you, I'm sorry. I apologize, but it's either it's either excuse my language. Either damn if I do or damn if I don't. Either way, somebody's gonna be mad at me. So I apologize if I spoiled it for you, but I hope you went on that romantic ride that I told you some of you guys on YouTube Shorts. What I'm you know told you guys I'm having my review. Go for that romantic ride. I hope I delivered. I hope I made you happy. If I didn't, I apologize, but I do the best I can. So I'm gonna show it to you so you can get in the zone. This is She's All That, and look how pretty she is, and that's Lainey Boggs, played by Rachel A. Cook, and there's Zach, played by Freddie Prince Jr. I hope you enjoyed my review. If y'all like it, I'm gonna make more reviews on romance, but I do everything. I do all kinds of movies. I do the horror, comedy, action, but today was romance. Today was romance, and I hope I took you on that romantic adventure. Uh, like I say, if I spoiled, I'm sorry, but I didn't go over a lot of scenes, even though I went through the ending. And you could go see it wherever you can. Either get the movie. I suggest you get this movie. I mean, it's really good. It's really romantic. I love this. I love this movie. And you know, in if you haven't seen it, go see it. Even though I told you, you still have to see it. You still have to experience it. You have to experience when she comes down the stairs with the "Kiss Me" song, and at the end where Zach throws her the ball and he's naked at graduation, and you see that "Kiss Me" scene. It's awesome. Even though I told you about it, I mean, you're still gonna like it. I've seen it a whole bunch of times. I'll see it again. I'll never get enough of it. And I don't know what else to say. This I just recommend you go see it. Get in Blu-ray. Go look for it. Maybe it's free somewhere already. It is an older movie, so you might be able to see it on YouTube or something like that. And I know for sure, like if they show it, if they charge, it's not gonna be that much. Um, so I recommend you see this movie. I hope you enjoyed the romantic ride. I will be doing more romantic reviews, so look for them. All you gotta do is look for A Destroyer 48 and see if I have any more romantic movie reviews going on. I recommend She's All That. And I'm babbling a lot, so I better shut up. Hope you enjoyed it. This completes my review of She's All That. Um, I want you guys to take care of yourselves. This is Alberto A Destroyer 48, and I will see you next time. Oh, let me leave you with this. The the world will never be a perfect place, but we can all make it better. Till next time, I will see you later. Take care of yourself. Bye.